Hey everybody, it's Alexia from amysticspath, back with another video for you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in and watching. Now, this video is on protection and why you would want to protect yourself and some of the ways that you can protect yourself, okay? So, first of all, of course, we would want spiritual protection or protection from the universe when we are trying to manifest and do magic or create magic, as well as any divination purpose or anytime you would want to connect with the divine. But it is also important to be protected in the physical, and I will explain a little bit more about that as we get further into this video. Now, I want to start with why the basic of, or like your first point of protection, and this is your clearing herbs, okay, also known as smudging. All right, but it is very important to understand what it is that you're using and why you would want to use that herb for that purpose. Now, it is also very important for you to open the window, so any negative energy and any energy that you are trying to release, because the energy may not be negative, it might be depressive, it might be sad, whatever the case may be. You might not view it as negative, you might view it as a low vibration, whatever the case may be, that it can exit out. Because if there's not an exit point, then it can't get out, because you are like dispelling the energy, you are not destroying it. So you must be very aware of that difference. Now, first, most people like to start with white sage. This is because it is, in my opinion, the most potent, and it is a clearer of energy on all accords, good, bad, anything in between. Okay, so white sage is a really good go-to. You also have mountain sage, and it works kind of in the same way, but I personally feel like it's not as potent. You also will see some lavender and mountain sage or lavender in different herb bundles as well, and lavender brings in peace and calming energy, as well as can help you with divination and help you with connection and visions and things like that. Rosemary is a very good herb for clearing and dispelling negative energy and getting a blank slate. You can use it as an all-purpose herb. I personally would use it in conjunction with another herb like mountain sage or blue mountain sage, and yeah, like one of those. I would use it in conjunction with one of those for a really strong clear of all energies. You also have blue mountain sage, and this works kind of in the same way, as well as helping with some psychic energies. And when you are looking at black sage, this is dispelling a negative psychic energy or clearing psychic energy where it can be muddled. You can use cedar. You can sometimes you'll find all cedar bundles, sometimes you'll find it in conjunction with another herb. And cedar is removing of problematic energies, all right? And Palo Santo, this is going to invite positive energies within. So depending on what it is that you are using, what it is that you are, and what it is that you're trying to do depends on the effects that you're going to get or the potency of the effect, all right? Another good way to clear out energy if you don't have an herb source, like white sage or rosemary or whatever the case may be, sound bowls are really, really good to be able to go through your home or the sacred space with a sound bowl. And it does very good for like your own vibrations within, especially if you sing with it as well, because then you are almost like the vibrations bounce off each other, okay? So you can use these things as clearing agents. Now, it's very important to understand that clearing does not mean protecting, and the purpose of this is that even if you are protected from something, if you don't clear it, it can still be lurking around. And how are you protecting yourself? Is it still able to spy on you? is it still able to be in your atmosphere but not actually harm you or affect you? So, or like communicate with you, but you may still be able to feel it just because it can't communicate with you, or it can't actually act out its actual intentions, but it doesn't mean that it's not still lurking, like you still wouldn't be aware of its presence. So that is why it's important to clear your area so you don't have any lingering energies, you don't have anything that would be watching or being like kind of on the sidelines. All right, so also when we are looking at the next step in protection, it is important for us to invoke protection and ask the universe for protection. So whether you are asking Oshun, or you're asking God, or you're asking the divine, Shango, whatever deity, whatever you use, what your ancestors, whoever. Okay, it is important to ask for protection from, and like it can sometimes look, and it's very, okay, let me slow down. It's very important for you to have like a list of things that you want to be protected from. So it might look like asking for protection through, and it's very important to ask through all time, space, and dimension, whatever there is, ever could be, ever will be, and ever was, okay? In the spiritual realm, astral realm, physical realm, all dimensions, everything, okay? You want to make sure that you're asking through all space, time, dimension, all parallel universes, all realms, anything that there ever is, could be, ever will be, all right? And you're asking for what you need to be protected from, anything evil, lying, demented, trickstery, alternate intent, spying energy, okay, harmful energy, anything that would want to attach to you, okay, anything that would want to lurk around, all right? And you would ask for this before you start to do a rite, or a ritual, or manifest, before you would come into a place where you would communicate or pray or just have a conversation with your spiritual team, because you don't want any trickstery energy or lying energy or kind of like deceiving energy in there. Okay, so it's very important of what it is that you're asking, and that you're asking for this energy, that nothing goes unlooked or unnoticed, even if it was something that was trusted before, because we must keep in mind that intentions change at a whim. This is because entities, people are always after their best interest of what it is that's going to benefit them solely. So we must be paying attention and asking for protection from this. Okay, so also, before we go into the physical, before we are having encounters with other people, before we're going to the water or whatever the case is, because just because you may not see something, just because your awarenesses may not be as open and as receptive to what other energies are around you, doesn't mean that there isn't other negative energies around you, and things that can factor other things in. Also, we must be aware that just because you are doing good spiritual, like good work or good protection work in the spiritual, when you are in the safety of your own home, or wherever it is that you're doing, or like the divination work that you're doing, you're invoking really good protection then. Okay, so you're already putting out an effort to shed light, and this kind of can attract negative things as well. And if you are unprotected, but you have a clear like connection with your team, entities may not, or other spiritual manifestations may not directly come for you in the term of where they're coming to your face, like into your face, because that might set off alarms within your connection, like, no, this isn't right, like, no. So they will kind of go to different places where people are going to be unsuspecting, okay, and trigger you through them, because people don't always know why it is that they're reacting in certain ways, especially when we're dealing with energetic sources. So we really, really, really have to be aware of that and ask for protection before we go out into the physical. And also, you can even use like it to heighten your intuition if you don't have confidence, or if you're just trying to learn to kind of get into touch with your intuition, you can ask for protection, and then that way when you get these vibes, when you get these feelings, when spirit is telling you that something is not for you, that you can just trust it, and it beats that logical aspect of that why do I need to be, why am I getting this feeling, or I'm just being paranoid, or this, that, and the third, because we have oftentimes discredited ourselves but have so much trust in the divine like we were supposed to. So that kind of beat down that barrier of where we would second guess ourselves and begin to almost trust ourselves and the connection with our divine even more. And I must say, because I feel like it's very important for me to say this, and this is also a message that needs to get out there, is that it is not always for you to know why. Like if your best friend Sally, if you feel like she's trying to all of a sudden like snake your man, if you never felt like that before and there's no reason for like unconceived jealousy, just take the hint, because how many, like, and again it reiterates into the fact of how many times have you been right about somebody that you did not have concrete proof of why it is that you were feeling that way. It is not always for you to know why, and it's like in spirit's realm, it's not for you to know why, because do they have the actual time to tell you what it is that is going to go wrong? Are you going to believe it? Are you going to believe it if they tell you what it is that's going to happen, or what it is that's going to unfold, or why a situation isn't for you? Because 9 times out of 10, even when you do know, when you're second guessing yourself, you're like, no, that's not it. So-and-so would never do that. And then they do it. It's not always for you to know. And you aren't always going to trust it and believe it any more than you trust or believe the initial feeling. So knowing that you're asking for protection and spirit is, and you're asking for protection, and to know like what it is for your best interest, and have protection from things that are lying and trying to manipulate you or deceive you, then you can just, like I said, it beats down that, oh, well, what if I'm wrong, which you're not. But of course, a lot of times when we aren't stepping completely into our intuition and really getting used to it, we lack the confidence. So it can help there as well. Now, as far as protection, we can also use different crystals that we program with different intentions. So you can use, and of course, I want to reiterate the fact that we're asking for protection throughout all time, space, and dimension, and that we are asked that our protection list is very vigorous and very rigorous, and it is very in detail, because we don't want anything to go unslipped or unnoticed, and we're asking for protection throughout all time, space, and dimensions, everything that there ever is, could be, ever was, ever will be, to cover all of our bases. Now we can, and we're setting our programs when we are programming our crystals in this way as well. It's always good to clear them with some sort of clearing herb before you, or like rinsing them with water, clearing them and setting them out in the moonlight to clear and charge them, and then setting your intention. It is very important to clear them first, so you're getting rid of the previous energy, or the previous owner's energy, or the energy that has kind of tumbled through before it has gotten to you. And you're setting these very very in-depth like, what is the word I'm looking for? Intentions. So you can use one. Clear crystal quartz is really good for anything that you're trying to manifest or do. It's kind of like the blank slate. You give it a job, it'll do it. All right, and it is a very high vibrational stone. You can also use labradite. This is really good for psychic protection as well, and psychic abilities if you're looking to protect yourself psychically, as well as psychically open your abilities, or heighten your awareness. You can use black tourmaline for protection. And of course, I want to reiterate, always program them. black tourmaline, you can use obsidian, you can use tiger's eye. All right, these are all crystals and stones that will protect you on a physical level as well as in the metaphysical as well. So, and of course, again, I want to say, please program your crystals for what it is that you want them to protect you for, so they have a job and it's not just going on all willy-nilly. And listen to, like, when you go and you are asking for protection, you have to listen to your vibes, because again, and it's also falling in with your intuition, because your guides will communicate with you. When you're starting to ask them for things, they're going to start communicating with you, because you are initiating the point of contact that they've already been like trying to reach out. Like, they're already waiting for you to spark the initiation of contact, but they have to wait for you because of the fact that you do have free will. So listening is a very important factor, because of the fact that it's all communication and connection, and you're asking for they might not be able to clearly remove your presence from a situation or altercation, but they can warn you before it happens for you to remove yourself, if that is making sense, okay? So I hope that this video has been very helpful for everyone, and that you all get the clarity that you need. If you have any questions about protection work, or how to extend, or anything like that, or have any other information, sessions that you need, or reading sessions specifically for yourself, please do not hesitate to contact me. I would love to work with you all.